Imagine waking up one day to find your city, your home, your life, split into by a massive concrete barrier. This wasn't a nightmare. It was the reality for Berliners for nearly 3 decades. But how did this symbol of division, this scar on a nation's heart, finally come crashing down? Let's rewind the clock and uncover the incredible story of the fall of the Berlin Wall. The year is 1961. Tensions between the Soviet-backed East and the Allied-supported West are at an all-time high. In the dead of night on August 13th, East German soldiers began laying down barbed wire and erecting fences, which would soon evolve into the formidable Berlin Wall. Overnight, families were torn apart, friends were separated, and a city was held hostage. For 28 long years, the wall stood as the most potent symbol of the Cold War's Iron Curtain. It wasn't just concrete and wire. It was a psychological barrier, a constant reminder of oppression. Many tried to escape the East, undertaking daring and often deadly attempts to cross to freedom in the West. Some tunneled beneath it, others tried to fly over it in homemade hot air balloons, while many tragically lost their lives in the attempt. But by the late 1980s, cracks began to appear, not just in the wall, but in the entire Soviet bloc. A wave of revolutions was sweeping across Eastern Europe. People were finding their voice, demanding freedom and change. In East Germany, mass protests grew larger and more defiant week by week. The government was losing control, and the pressure was becoming unbearable. Then came the fateful evening of November 9, 1989. It was a moment of sheer chaos and beautiful confusion. An East German official named Günter Schabowski was holding a routine press conference. Near the end, he was handed a note about new travel regulations. When a journalist asked when these new rules would take effect, Schabowski, seemingly unprepared, glanced at his notes and stammered, "As far as I know." Effective immediately, without delay, his words spread like wildfire. Was it true? Could East Germans really travel freely? Tens of thousands of people, fueled by hope and disbelief, flocked to the checkpoints along the wall. They cautiously approached the guards, who were just as confused as everyone else. They had no clear orders. Faced with the overwhelming, peaceful crowd chanting, "Open the gate," the guards at the Bornholmer Strasse crossing finally made a historic decision. They let the people through. The scenes that followed were pure euphoria. People from East and West Berlin flooded the checkpoints, climbing onto the wall, embracing strangers, crying, and celebrating together. The sound of hammers and chisels echoed through the night as people began to physically dismantle the wall, piece by piece. These wallpackers, as they were called, were chipping away at a symbol of oppression, claiming their freedom with their own hands. The party lasted for days. The Berlin Wall, which had stood for over 10,000 days, had fallen in a single night, not through violence or war, but through the courage and unity of ordinary people. The fall of the Berlin Wall was a pivotal moment in world history. It marked the symbolic end of the Cold War and paved the way for German reunification a year later. It is a powerful reminder that no wall is strong enough to contain the human spirit's desire for freedom. It shows us that even the most imposing structures of division can be brought down by the collective will of the people. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you found this story as moving as I do, please hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next exploration into history's most incredible moments. See you next time.